Okay, so we're gonna design these maps. And so let's now go here to new. Let's go to model. Let's call it mags. And let's find our folder. Let's say okay on Siemens NX. Let's say okay. And today we're actually gonna start very differently than we ever did. We're not gonna do a sketch. We're not gonna bring a picture. We're gonna go here to tools, exactly tools in here. And there's this little tab in there that is kind of hidden that's called expressions in there. So we go down to expressions and we're actually gonna start writing down things. So let me ask the crowd in here. You have a map. What are the parameters that you could control about the map? Diameter, that's one of them. So let's actually create one. Let's call it dia. Yeah, I don't need a formula. I'm just gonna actually, yes. Let's say my favorite number 200 of the class. And it's asking you about units because you could also create something like in the Lego brick, for instance, right? Like in the video, one parameter could be the number of pegs, in which case it's unitless. And then there could be, I could also make an expression in here where I say, all right, I want the length to be a function of the number of pegs, as an example. What is another parameter that we could do? The height. Let's do another one. Okay, let's create in here a new expression. Height. Let's make this one 200. It doesn't matter for now. What's another one that we could do? Oh, you go here to tools, that button, and then you click in expressions, and then just.
I have the box, just not letting me add another value.
Oh, yes, you're completely right. It's right with you. No, perfectly. And then another one that I was actually thinking about is the thickness. So we can write in here, right click, new expression, the thickness, and this one I can say like 10. It's like the wall thickness, right, of the map. So when you're happy, you just say apply. So now it creates all of these expressions variables, and you'll see how these are going to come into play in just a second. So I can say okay. If you want to edit these, you can either click here in expressions and you go back and you change the numbers, or right here, like here in the usual icon where every time we create a sketch, they start populating around the feature tree. You can see the user expressions in this folder right there, if you want to see them too. That's good to have it in mind. So let's design the Mac. So it's click here in Sketch. I'll go here to top, and I'll do a circle. Now I'll click on letter D. And now where it says 490, click on the equal sign and write dia. And then say yes. Excellent. So now you see how there's no number anymore. It's dia what's going to control the dimension of that circle in there. So that's great. So now we click on finish, and then we do an extrusion. And right here we do the same thing. I click on equal sign and I write height. And it already gives you the option, by the way. That's your parameter, and you click apply. Syntax 0. Or maybe I shouldn't. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Okay, very good. So now we have those two. And now we can go here to where it says shell. I go here on shell. It's an open shell. I click on this face. So you guys remember the shell command that we saw before? It just generates like a uniform thickness around this thing. I could also have chosen this face, in which case it becomes a cylinder, but I don't want to do that. I go here to shell again. I'll select that face. And in here, I can say that I want thickness as my parameter. I'll say apply, cancel. So this is quite good because now if I go to our expressions, instead of having 10 for the thickness, I can put 20 and it automatically modifies. That's pretty good. So you might already start getting a gist of what we're gonna do in just a moment. I'll say save. Now, so this is quite a sad matter. We should have a handle in here. So what could be a way to make a handle?
Means you select to have the thickness.
Oh, just the top face. Yes. Oh, no, thickness, I just chose the, like this expression in there. So when I went to shell, like you could say here, it says formula, but I selected like that one. Of course, I'll go around in just a second. I just want to show you the handle. To make the handle, perhaps we can choose, let's do a sketch on the right plane or front plane, it doesn't matter. They're both pretty much equivalent at this point. So we can draw like a little zoom in there, like a semi-arch. So let's right click in here, let's say entire assembly, and I'm gonna draw two lines, which you are gonna, actually, I'll go here to project. I'm gonna project that line in there, and I make a construction. That way I know I have that point. And I'll draw a line like this. Let's see whether I can project curve. There we go. In essence, I'm projecting the circumference, and as you see, it becomes a line because it's flattened out. I'm just drawing two lines. I'm gonna click on the equal command, and I'll make these two lines equal length. You'll see why I'm doing that in a second. And then I'll make an arch right there. That's a sad arch, as you can say. But I'll make this line in here be, let's say 10, actually 15. So this parameter, actually, you know what would be cool? I can say equal, for instance, and I can say, so the height was 200. So I can say that I want this to always be 0.0, so 5% of the height, as an example. So in other words, whenever you change the height, that little thickness, it's always going to be proportional to that. So it's like a neat thing. And then I want this bad boy in here. Yeah, that's R90. I wonder whether, and in here I'm gonna do the exact same. I wanna say equal to. So that's 5%. I'll make this 90% of height. There we go. So 5%, 5%, 90%, you have 100% of the overall height in here. Yeah, but I'm just gonna make that a construction line. There we go, just like that. And then our friend offset entities, I will offset inwards. So I'll say negative thickness. I'll say apply. So now, yes.
Diameter, what?
Oh, I said 90%. So 0.9
Of the thickness.
of the height. I'll go around it in a second and I'll explain that. But the last thing that I'll do, I'll say here cancel. I'm just gonna, where's our friend? I'm just gonna make two little arches. You'll see the purpose of these in a second. They'll go like that. Okay. And all we do now, I say finish. I'll go here to extrude. Obviously 200 is too much, so I'm just gonna go here to extrude. I want this to be thickness. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Oh, but it's subtracting. I don't want to subtract. I want to unite. There we go. And I'm going to also say here equal to, let's say, negative thickness over 2. That way it's like proportional in both directions. Yes, it starts generating the handle there. Say, okay, boom. I want to hide some of our sketches because I don't need them. And then let's beautify this thing by adding a couple of edge blends. Oh, that's starting to look a little bit better. I can say that I want this to be equal to also thickness. Or maybe thickness over 2. There we go. And I'll say the same thing there. Oh, wow. So now it does look a lot rounder, which is pretty. Oh, because so I made the thickness to be actually equal to the thickness. If you make the radius be thickness over 2, it just becomes a circle. So here's the magic, right? If we did everything correctly, let me change the height to 100, right? It worked. So now we have an espresso cup, right? So now you work for some of these like coffee companies, so you can supply them a lot of cups. 150. Very good. And what if we change the thickness? Let's say thickness 30. Everything changes. So you see how now we have multiple, well, not yet no, multiple versions, but we can potentially generate many of these maps. In fact, what I'm realizing is that I'm gonna go back to this sketch and I might change the math a little bit to make that formula. I think I'll make it 10%. And I'll change this guy to be 80%. There we go. That way I bring the handle just a little bit downwards. Okay, let me walk around helping you guys and then we're gonna add a couple more details to this. As I always say, if your career fails, now you could be cup designers. Okay, let's actually do one last thing before we start actually making multiple copies of this thing, which is let's add our names in here. You guys might, let's go. All right, here's how I would do it, right? Let's create a plane and I'm gonna make this plane be, yeah, that sounds roughly correct. Maybe I'll do 200. I'll say, actually, no, I don't need to do a plane. I can just go here to tools, not tools, curve, text. Then you go to this one, which is on face. So I select the face, that one. I select the curve like here. Let's see if I can write like Andy. Ah, it's right there. I need to revert it. And I'm gonna bring it up. So I'll offset it actually. Let's see if I can. So we said that was, so that was thickness. That was thickness. So I need to offset this then by 0. I think I did over here. Ah, so that's exactly the half. Okay. So you can do the math of how much you'd like to offset this. And I'm gonna, the height that I'll give it, I'll say I want height over 4. Huh? Let me try again. I should have locked the aspect ratio in there. Oh, so I'll show you in a second. So you do here on face. You select the face, then you select the curve, and then you see this point, you just drag it. So I can just drag it however I want. I'm just gonna reorient the text. In fact, we can specify that because I think actually, well, it doesn't matter where it is. It could be like there, and it's completely fine. I'm actually gonna call mine CAD, where it's very applicable to today. So I'll go here to offset. I'll do again equal to height 0.8 times height. In your case, it would be 0.9 over 2. No equal sign. That's okay. I'm gonna lock the aspect ratio, that way it always scales up. That's what I didn't do last time. And now I can say I want this to be 0.3 times height. Oh, it's not accelerated. That might be too much. I'm sorry. There we go. Huh? That's good. Okay. What else can I do in here? Do you guys like Arial, or maybe we should do? Let's see what do we have in here. Calibri. Maybe Century. No. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna look up. But I had to look this up anyways. The Pokemon card font type. I guess I'll. What's the font on this? Jill Sans. Right. Let's see if I can find Gilles Sands in here. Let's go. We can do that one. What's Central European versus Western? Italic. Okay. Good. So now you have the word CAD in there. So all you have to do here is go to extrude in here. But let's see whether I can subtract. And probably what I'm gonna do is go here to, let's see, offset from surface. I just need to get rid of the formulas. 1 second. There we go. Here's what we need. This is what we were struggling last time. If you guys remember when we were doing the Lego phase, it always gives me a little bit of trouble to figure out. Maybe it's like negative 2. No, cannot extrude. I'll show you offset from surface. Wonder whether if we did unite. Huh. Oh, the letter's bigger. So here. No, it's not trigger. Like, I have to find it. Yeah. Like down there. No, I'm just fooling around here, just trying to extrude this thing. Okay, so they're kind of. How would that look like? None. But this works. What is it even choosing that direction? Would be. Oh, I see. I think the direction was clearly very wrong. So I'm gonna now let's see if I can subtract this bad boy. I'll subtract by -1. Oh, I'll say okay. Too bad there. Yes, I'm not sure whether you guys were watching it there. I definitely chose a very shady direction. I should have chosen one that is actually perpendicular to this thing, but it did do the trick, which is what I wanted. So we have the CAD mag right there. And what else to do? Well, we can go here to assign feature color, and we can make, you can choose your favorite color. I'll choose brown. It's not my favorite color. My favorite color is gray, actually, but this one doesn't look too bad. Here, say apply, and maybe for this guy,
Extruding into the pocket, trying to figure that out.
yes. If we want to do it properly, let me show you how to actually do it properly. Which is, I'm gonna write another piece of text, which is gonna be right here. So we go to curve text, and let's select the same thing. It would be like good review anyways. I'm gonna, wait, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Wait. Okay, so I can say like this. It's up. Let me just change the orientation. But let's write something. What could be a name? Let's go Starbucks in quotation mark, right? Because otherwise, as I always say, never make something identical to the actual thing. They will come after you. Let me just put in here the height, offset. Oh, it already knows it's 16%. Okay, I'll say you're happy with the text in there. So you go to home, extrude, you select all of that fun text in there, but it's super important to have this one right, which is the direction. So it's gonna be asking you for what direction are you extruding on. So I just chose a random vector when you, in this case is this x1, and I wanna extrude inwards. So probably the overall effect is not gonna be too nice, but we can give it a shot. See what that look like. Yeah, it doesn't even recognize it. What if I do like Netlify? Oh, there we go. Hey, I was just doing badly the numbers. I can say. So funny. So now you have your quotation marks, Star Wars. And I'm gonna right click in here, assign feature color, and let's make that black. Okay. Probably when I put the screenshot that will go in the website, it will be this side and not this one. I don't know, maybe I might leave this side, but it doesn't matter. So, any questions up to this point? But now is where we're gonna start doing the fun stuff. Okay, I'll take the questions in a moment, but let's do the following thing. There's a command that I want you to search in here that's called suppress or feature, let's see, feature suppress. Okay. No, it's not suppress. Suppress by expression, this one in here. Click on this one that's called suppress by expression, and when it's asking you to select what feature you want to suppress, I'm going to select the Starbucks and the CAD, and you say apply. So you're not actually suppressing anything yet. It's just that, you know, when I'm the CAP designer, and that's why I brought up the first example at the beginning, which is you have the Toronto mag, you have the Miami mag, you have the Montreal mag, whatever. They're always changing the text. So it's the same mag, and some things might change. So we're gonna suppress sometimes those features. So we go now to, actually we can just search it up in here. You can search up parameter tables in there, and you click on parameter table, and this thing will pop up in here. And we're gonna create, here we go, new table from expressions. I say good. So now I can say add expressions, and you can literally select. So we're gonna select the table, right? We're gonna create the table, and I want this table to only have the parameters that we care about, which are diameter, thickness, and height, plus this suppress one. It's gonna be like a logic one. If it's a 1, you suppress it. If it's a 0, you don't suppress it. So in here, it's asking you to select expression. I'm gonna go for dia, height. I'm just selecting it with the control command. And down here, these two suppression statuses, and I click on OK. So you see them appearing there, and then just click OK. This is it. Oh yes. So let me just click apply. Say. So you go here to suppress, or you just click on this command in here called suppress by expression. You click there, and then you select the Starbucks. Actually, I think it already recognizes that I selected the Starbucks. But that's why it's already the. But you would select the Starbucks thingy and the CAD one, or whichever. I could. Let me just. I can select another feature. Let me do. Say I don't want always that fillet like that thing to appear. So in suppress by expression, I select this and I say apply. So you see how now this I guess this edge blend number 6, it has an equal sign next to it in the feature tree. That's what it means. Anyways, let's go to our friend part. Oh, no, now click OK. There we go. So now here in search, go to parameter table, parameter tables in plural. You click in there. I'll create a new one. So I'll go here to new table from expressions. You click on the plus button in there. right clicking here, add expressions, and I'm gonna add again the dia. Actually, no. Just a moment. Right. Right, it already selected. Yeah, so from here you select from this list the feature you're gonna try. I can say, right, I want this one in the table that I created originally. I selected the thickness, height, and diameter, which will be parameters that you could select, and also P46 and P45, which were the suppression statuses of the Starbucks. I'll walk around in a moment, but I just want to show you the power of this, because now in configuration, I can actually go here and say add configuration. We're going to call it mag1. This one, yeah, I don't care about that one. Add configuration, I'll call it mag2. Add configuration, I'll call it mag3. Oh. So now if I go to the table and I say edit all, you can see in our render table, we have each one of these columns represents one of them. So why am I doing this? Because then in diameter, I can say, all right, I want mag1 to be 100 in diameter, mag2 200, mag3 300. Then I want the height in this one to be 200. So it's like a skinny and tall one. This one, I want it to be like a more of a small coffee one. And mag3 could be a chubby mag. So it's going to be a big one. And then the thickness of this one, I can say I want it for 10, 15, 10. And here, the ones means that it's not suppressed. If I were to put a 0 in this one, look what happens. So I'll say, okay, right. So now double click on mag number 2. So now this one appears. Let's click on mag, and you see how I put the 0? You don't see the Starbucks popping up. Let's go to mag number 3. I have this massive one. And as you can see, we probably messed up some of the dimensions because the handle doesn't appear. Let's go to mag number 1. Yes. So we definitely did mess up. So I need to figure out, I need to go back to that sketch and modify it. But at least mag number 2 is fine. In other words, I believe what's going to happen is if I go to edit all, if I don't change the diameter, in other words, I leave it as 200, then let's just not change them and like just leave it like this. I think mag number 3, no, it still doesn't work. So I'll probably go here to sketch 4 and let me edit Y. Remember, like there, and then I'm gonna bring this point like here. See if I can make this point and that point coincident. Okay, maybe that works. Finish. But you see, the colors didn't save because now this is like a lot bigger. So I can just go here and say assign feature color. And yes, it already recognized. No, actually, I want this color. Oh, I didn't do it. Assign feature color. Okay. Apply. Here. I'm just modifying. Yeah, the text is, I think the CAD text is not very happy at this moment. So let's go back to, I guess, where are we? Let's find it again. Parameter tables, Mac2. So now it's like up there, and now it's like there. In other words, it's super important how you do the sketches, right? Why you want to define it properly. But let me help you guys. All right, let's do the train. I think the train might be a little bit easier to do. So the goal in here, we'll go simple. We'll design actually for now 2 tracks and a model train. That's it. I'll make this one a bullet train because I think it's gonna be a little bit easier to design. So let's go. Let's do this together. I'm gonna go. Actually, let me show you a picture, right? Yeah, the Pokemon card. I'll leave it for later. So let's say bullet train wooden, oh, is it? give you an idea of what exactly I have in mind. Maybe something like this. No, very, very simple. In fact, maybe if we have time, we might add the windows. You can make it pretty and whatnot, but for now, I'll just leave it like this. So yeah, so I'll go here to File, New, Model. I'll call it bullet train. I'll say okay. And we're gonna go very, very, very simple. In fact, we look at the picture. We can design, for instance, this profile, or actually, we can design it like sideways and then edge blend some of these things. And then we can put like two rectangles in the bottom, and in each one of the rectangles, we do the wheels. And then we can put the magnet on like either side. So one way to do that would be, let's do a sketch here in the right plane. I'll say, okay, maybe for now that we did learn how to do configurations, for simplicity, we want to do the configurations yet on the train, but you can see how I did it on the other YouTube video. We do the configurations maybe on the tracks if we have time. But for now, you can just go here to line, draw a little line like that, and you can dimension this to be, this is the first time that you will see me put a non-20 number, a non-200 number. I'll actually make that 20. So here's where I want you guys to be creative. So you can be not creative like me and just draw. It's not gonna be quite a bullet train. It's gonna be more like a prior generation version. We can make that like 2. I'm gonna make, oh, I'm gonna make that like 7 or 7 point. Oh, 7 is fine. I'll make that 15. Yeah, so that's like the profile of our little train. And then I can extrude that, and I can say I want that to be extruded by 7 students, so maybe let's see 10. Okay, I like 10. I'll click on OK, and I will just hide that for a second. And then actually, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna go here to edit. Instead of 20, I'll make that 40. And I'll actually make that. I kind of don't dislike the look, right? I mean, it looks quite different. No, but that would be like a very weird train. So I can make that. Okay, finish. The reason why I did this is because now I go here to sketch to the bottom face, and we can draw like 2 rectangles that will go like this. Actually, one is fine. So I'm gonna make that be 1. I'll make the same thing in here. I have the right click, work part only, there we go. Oh. I need to project that curve. There we go. Here, like, there's no one way of designing your train. You can do it in whichever way that makes you happy. I like this one because I'm just gonna make one.
Is this separate from the train profile we designed?
Yes, this is already in the bottom face.
Is it different model? Is it part or is this?
No, it is the same train piece. Yes. For like the train.
Yeah, just make a new file.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is a new file. Yes. No, it's not. We're not in the mag anymore. We're like here. Oh, no, it's completely fine. So we made this be 40, which means if I made a separation of there of 1, maybe I'll make a separation here. Oh, I'll figure it out. I'll probably make that 15. I'll say finish. And now I'll bring this down by 10. I don't know, 10 is too much, so maybe 5. Good. I'll say. So why did I do this massive thing where we're gonna design like the 2 wheels in here? So the way I did it on the video, it was a lot nicer. I did like a profile and then I did a revolve. Here we'll just go a little bit simpler. So I can go here to sketch. I click on OK. And I can just right click here, entire assembly. I'm gonna draw 2 big circles like that. And I want that one to be maybe 8 as well. I drew them like on that line. So now we select, there we go. I'm gonna make that distance be 3. I think that's fine. And I'll make the distance as well here be equal to 3. Excellent. Okay. So yeah, quite a fast bullet train. So then I go here to finish, extrude, and we're gonna extrude maybe by 2 millimeters. Maybe at 1.5. Those wheels look a little bit chubby. And then one last thing we can do is go here to sketch, top face, and now we're gonna add like the little details in here. I'll make that 4. And these guys, we can extrude them outwards by 0.5. So you see how it's gonna come together in just a second, because we go here to edge blend. We start adding a couple of decorations in here. We kind of make it look nicer. I can make that 0.5. Yeah, so those wheels look kind of decentish. So here's the magic. First things first, when you go here to datum plane, yes, I think I can do this way. I can create a plane that is in between this block. So it's a plane that is right, it cuts the train in half. And the reason for that is because I go to my friend mirror and I say, right, what do I want to mirror? Well, all of this stuff, and select the plane here. And say, okay. So now you have all of your wheels on the other side. But that's not enough, because we can do better than this. Now I'm gonna do a pattern. So I'll go to pattern and I'll say, right, what do you want to pattern? Well, all of the wheels plus that guy plus that mirror. And now it's gonna ask us what sort of pattern, a linear pattern around this vector. Yes, I want to. I'm gonna revert the direction. There we go. It's 5. All right. No, that's too little. So it's not generating, which is giving me, scaring me. It's gonna give me, oh no, it is generating, that's good. But it didn't generate the mirror, which is what I feared was gonna happen. So in that case, I'm gonna get rid of that original mirror. And in here, I'll just edit this thing. I'm just gonna eyeball it in here. I think maybe 30. No, 30 is too much, so maybe 25. No, edit. Okay, that looks roughly correct. And now, yes, I do a mirror of the wheels in here. Yeah, I can do a mirror of that too, it doesn't matter. Around here. So that's the mirror of that one, but it doesn't want to do the mirror of those wheels that side. Let me see. I have an idea for this. So when we did the first wheel, which is that one, instead of saying unite, you can click on none, which means that now all of, yeah, so that is probably gonna be wrong, which is completely fine. And I'm gonna also get rid of this. In other words, when I do the pattern in here, pattern feature, I wanna, none as well, there we go. Okay. I'm gonna do instead this one that is the pattern geometry, which we've used in the past. But I just need to make sure. Oh, it was extrude 4, the one that I was interested on. There we go. Yeah, that's fine. I don't care. You guys are fine. That's a none. No, but I do want to unite with this. Very good. So like now the wheels, these are like separate things. So I go here to pattern geometry, so I can pattern that, specify vector here, and the pitch distance, which it was 23. So it brings it down there. I say, okay, beautiful. Actually, I should have selected the wheels as well. I forgot. This extrude. Sorry, I need to edit it here. Let me just edit this for a second. Unite. There we go. Now, yes, we can do mirror geometry. I'm gonna mirror all of the wheels, specify plane around there. I click on OK. Yeah, so there's a little bit of a convoluted way of generating this. I will go round in a moment. But then you can beautify, as always, by adding edge blends around here. Oh. Actually, I'm gonna first add an edge blend here of like, ooh. I mean, I get excited with my trains today. I'm gonna do another one. Blend here in the back. That's too much. I'll make like one. Now blend. I'm gonna make that two. Ah, unable to apply. It's okay. 1.5. Can you apply this one? No? Well, then probably my selections are not correct. So I'll just. I kind of like it like that. It's like a modern Japanese style kind of train. And we cannot be done. I think we could do a little of an edge blend here too. Why not? Yeah, now we're talking business. There we go. You just want to add the magnet as well, or you could? Well, we could add the. And let's go here, sketch, the face. Okay, these two guys equal. Say okay. I want to make like that. Let's see. Check. Huh? It looks like, and then like if you want to mirror this one in here, we can create yet one more datum plane, say between here and there. So that's, I believe, the half. So I can do, I think mirror feature could work on this. Select plane here. Yes, let's go. I'm gonna hide. Yeah, no, let me help you guys with your trends. So this is as much detail as I'm gonna give to mine. And then we can actually, I'm kidding. I will change the color of this. 1 second. I always lie. I always say that I'm done, and I'm not done. I'm sorry. Oh, I could make this be like that. I make that white. I will make the that front face. If I change the selection filter face, I'm gonna make that a solid aqua. No, okay. And then I'm gonna make also the filter. Oh, I do see that a lot of this stuff just got uh, suppressed. I need to figure out why that happened. That one for now. The wheels be like dark gray like that. Face. Let's do the tracks because a lot to do and little time to do it. So we're gonna speed through it. But let's say actually the first thing that we should do is wooden train tracks. Let's get an idea, but sometimes it's like difficult to see. So I'm gonna show you guys how to design. Sorry for this, like we're not gonna design a ton of them as I originally intended, but I wanna see if I find the standard set in here. Yeah, so you can see that one, but oh, this would be a nice. Oh, I wish I was 5 years old again. I could just forget about my responsibilities. So we're gonna design this one and this one. So the straight one and the side one. Shall we do it? Let's do it. So actually it's very simple. We go here to File, New, Model, and I'm gonna call it, let's call this one Track 1. And I'll say okay. And I'll do a sketch here in the top plane, and I'll say okay. And there's actually two things that I'm gonna do from here. You'll see in a moment. First, I'm gonna draw one straight line. I don't care the dimension. I'll call it D. Actually, I do care about that. I'll make that 200. I'll say yes. This is gonna be our standard track curve. This is gonna be our standard track length. But I also want to design a circle, and I will make it go up to there, and maybe I might make this distance be let's make that 400. So this circle in here, that is gonna denote the curvature of the track that we're gonna design also in just a moment. In fact, I will make this a construction circle. And I will define an arch in here, also with construction lines, as you can see. And I will make this angle in here be 45 degrees. Yeah, that's kind of a lot. So maybe because I want, yes, yeah, like there's perhaps nicer mathematical ways of doing this, as you will probably tell in just a moment, but I'm just gonna bring this all the way up to there. So we're gonna make this one 45 degrees. I think this might work. A straight one of length 300 and a curved one of, it's defined by the circle of radius 400 and just that angle 45. And I'm actually not gonna do anything yet with these two lines. This is just to get an idea of the overall dimensions of this thing. Bear in mind as well that I'm not sure when you did your train, I mean, this is gonna be the biggest problem, right? Hopefully all of you guys made this thing be 8. You remember, like the distance from here to here is like 8 millimeters. At least in my train, that is what it is. Actually, I should confirm 1 second whether. Let me first say finish. Let me go back to the bullet train. Sketch free. Is that 8? I think it is because that overall is 10. But I should probably confirm. Yes. Okay. Finish. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, you're giving me an error. I don't care. But okay, so let's go back here. The point is that once you have those two lines defined, you're pretty much done in a way. Because I go here to sketch, I go to front plane, I'll click on OK. And all I'm gonna do is a rectangle, a center rectangle. and I'm gonna draw it like that. So if we said that in the train, in our train, if this distance, if the distance between I messed up the colors, it's okay. But if the distance between the wheels is like 8 mm, that means that when we define the track, I'm gonna do the following thing. I'll say that I want 8. Then for the wheels themselves, I think they were like 2 mm thickness each. So I'll make this 8 plus 4 plus maybe 2 mm more. I'll say that's okay. Yes. And I say that I want the overall height of this to be 6. Could be work there. That's fine. And I'm gonna design 2 little rectangles like this. One that goes like that. One that goes like that. Actually, I should make that line. I'll make it construction. You'll see why in a moment. I'll make that one construction too. But the whole point is that now I'm gonna define, okay, I want that distance in here to be 1. I want the distance here. Yeah, you can, I'll help you in a moment. You can look at like this procedure in general, how I would do it. Did I make that one? Yes. Then I'll make this 2. Then I'll make this 2. And I'll make the height of this be, I'll make it 2 as well. What that means is that probably this is too tall, so I can make that like 3. Ah, it's gonna be nice. So I'll say finish. Well, actually, I'm not done. I'm gonna join with these lines there, and from here to there, and then from here to there. So it's a full profile, and I'll say finish. Now you may remember that we looked at the swept command to design the apple.
Right.
So we're gonna go here to our friend swept, but this one is called, there's one that's called swept along guide. That's the one that we want to use in here. So in track number 1, which is the one that we're designing, I'll go here and I'll say select curve, this one here. Actually, there's one thing I should do. I'm gonna edit this one. I will make that construction for now. And I'll save it up in a moment. But I go here to swept, swept along guide, here, boom. I say, okay. Actually, let me edit. Actually, let me. That 300. I think is that the overall length of the. I don't even know. Oh yes, it is free. Okay, that was. I thought it was like too long of a track. This one, I guess it might be too long. And then perhaps for simplicity, what we can do in here in terms of how all of these guys would assemble, I can do a sketch here in the top face, and I can draw a center rectangle right where the middle. There we go. Center. I want a rectangle right in here, and we're gonna make them like come in as if they were. I'm sorry, I'm dying. Go 4. Then maybe we could say that is like 6. I go here to finish, and I'll extrude cut. I'll say subtract by -3. Okay. Let me just hide that for a moment. And so in here, in the opposite side, I'll say here, okay. And we can do the exact same rectangle. So we said that was 4. I think it was 4. This was 6. But in this case, we're actually gonna add, unite. There you go. And then the last thing that perhaps I can do is a little edge blend right there and that right there. So you see, like normally this is not gonna work well in terms of actually ensuring that this is buildable, but it's fine. I say, okay, actually, I'm gonna take a look. This sketch 1 second. I feel I did different. No, that was also for the 6. Okay, good. So we have one of the tracks that is good. So I'll say save. It's gonna be quite big. In fact, actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'll edit this immediately. So I'll make that 100, and I'll make that 150. I feel like our train. There we go. I think this is a more standard track, and I'll say save. Now, what are we gonna do? I'll go here to File, Save As, and I'll save this exact same one as track number 2. And I'll say okay. So now I'm working on another one. So I'll go back to sketch number 2. I'll edit this guy. No, it's not this one. I want to go number 1, I meant. So this original line, now this one I'll make it into a construction. And now I'm going to draw the exact same arch that we had. And I'll say finish. And now we have this. So yes, obviously that this sketching here is wrong. So I'm going to delete it. It's okay. The edge blends, yeah, at least that one is fine. So now go here to sketch, to that top face. And we're gonna try, I think this one might work, yeah. Good. I'll make that 6. I'll make this 4. Oh, finish. And we extrude downwards by another 3. And last thing, we apply the edge blend. All right, almost done. I promise I will go around in a second. I just want to show you how all of this stuff will come together. So make sure to save this. Let's build an assembly. Actually, no, I'm kidding. We should. This color is ugly. Let's make it a proper, a kind of like violet in this case. I think it would look kind of nice. I want to color. Apply. So let's save this. Let me open again track 1. All right, track 1, since we're here, let's make it another color. Let's make it orange. Oh. So this is the keys are, someday all of you guys will have children, and your children will want these toys. And the reality that these toys are super expensive, by the way. So instead you'll buy a 3D printer and you'll just make the toys for your kids. That's what I want to do. All right, so now file, new, assembly. And let's call it tracks, or let's call it train set. I say, okay. And now I'm gonna go here to open, and I'll bring, actually, I did not save track number 1. I have to save it, there we go. But it wasn't showing the color. So assembly, add component. Let's find my friend track number 1. And we're gonna design a very simple one. Yeah, I'll bring it over there, apply, yeah, whatever. It's fixed. So I'll do, you'll see the one that I'm gonna design. Another component. I can mirror all of this stuff, by the way. We can make it very symmetrical. I'll bring that guy, select object in here. So just as a review of last time, I'm gonna do the constraints. I click on align, so I can say I want, no, that's the movable one. So I want this face and this face to be at the same height, which they seem to be. Want this face and that face to be also at the same alignment, and that face and this face. Oh, you gave me an error, which means that I should probably go, where is your constraints? I'm gonna delete that one. Instead, I'm gonna add this one. But I'm gonna rotate, apply. Okay. So this is the least fun part, which is building the train set. So that's flat in there. Very good. Our component, we are gonna add our friend, the track number 2. Select object, I'm gonna bring it there. Yeah, and I'm gonna bring another one as well. Let's apply. we're gonna bring 4 of these. Select object. I bring it there. But remember, this is 45 degrees and I want a 90-degree angle. I'm gonna bring another one of these tracks. Yeah, so today is a little bit more, it's similar to what we did on Tuesday in a way, just adding the configurations element to this. So that now what do? We go here to align, and I can say, all right, I want this face and that face to be aligned. Good, apply. And I want now that little line and that little line to be applied. Excellent, there we go. Looks kind of shady, right? The curvature in there. I'm not sure why. We can check that afterwards, it's okay. I'm gonna now align that face and this face in here. Reverse direction, apply. Yeah, so that the angle is kind of weird. So there we go. And since we're here, excellent, like that. All right, so we have part of our track in there. Now I'm gonna do the alignment in here. It takes a little bit of patience, as you can see. It's not as quick to do this process. I'll say apply, and let's finish with this guy. Almost done, I promise. I'm just gonna align in there and that edge, that edge. There's nothing more satisfying than seeing it like snip in there. Moment of truth, we're gonna bring the bullet train. So let's find the bullet train. Okay, and I'm gonna bring it right there. And then when you have time, you can add the wagons, you can design more parts to it. But the reality, yes, I need to change the colors of that, but that's fine. I'm gonna align and I can say, okay, so I want this face to be touching this face. And we did the math correctly. And I'm gonna, there we go. That's fine. And now here's where I'm gonna cheat. There's this distance made, and I'm just gonna say that I want the distance between here and here to be like 0.1, maybe negative 0.1. And now we need to kind of play around until you see the wheel is still kind of stuck in the ground. So maybe -1, -2. Okay, -2 seems to work. So I'll say, okay. So now our little train is in the tracks. That's beautiful. And now I'm gonna save this. So ready for the last step. It's here. We go here to mirror assembly. Actually, we're not ready. I have to go here to home, plane. We're gonna create a plane that is right there. The assembly right there. 0 offset. There we go. Now, yes, we are ready. Assembly, mirror assembly, yeah, whatever. So I'm gonna mirror everything, even including the train, because why not? And next, mirror, oh no, sorry, I'm gonna select this guy. Next. It might be easier actually to do a rotation. I'll see which one actually ends up working in here. Yeah, next. Yeah, so that's exactly what I feared. This sort of mirroring. Let's see what happens if I do. Yeah, it's fine, whatever. All right, so that one, but I want to change the orientation. Did that work? I'm not sure. That's okay. You know what? There's a slightly easier way to do this. I'm gonna go here to, in other words, if I were to do like a circular pattern where I just want to bring this 180 degrees. So that's the last thing that I'll do for now. So we need to, it's a bit of a manual process, as you can tell, but that's fine. I'll do a sketch. You can do sketches in assemblies, which I totally don't recommend. But here I am doing one. So I'll do a line that goes from here all the way here. Then I'll do a line that goes here from the middle all the way there. So in other words, I need to find that point. That's excellent. So now we are actually going to create, in a very convoluted way, two planes. The famous point, I guess this is review of a lot of the things that we've done. Yes, I want that plane, and I'm going to create yet another plane exactly there, but the vector is going to be, let me just select the vector first. Here, select the point there. So I have two intersecting planes, which means now I go to datum axis. I select these two ones. I have an axis that is right there. And the last thing that we do here in assemblies is a pattern component. And we're going to do a circular pattern of all of this stuff. So let's select, yes, like this. And select vector or axis is going to be that guy. Okay. So count and span. I hope it works because it would be very sad if it doesn't. And I think it did. So that's good. Beautiful. You have the video to review this, but the whole point is that now I'm just gonna hide this. I'm gonna save this. You go here to view and show and hide. There's somewhere in here that tells you I don't wanna see the constraints, so I hide them. I don't wanna see none of the planes, none of the sketches. There you go.
Move the train around.
No, well, actually, so here's the thing, right? If you go to assemblies and now I go to move component and I click on the train and here in the direction, you'll see that. So it doesn't allow me to move it in this direction because I set that align, but technically, but it just goes away.
Yeah, that's the issue I ran into as well.
Discard change. So I was looking it up in the paid version of NX. There's a lot more things that you can do, such as animations or like collision detectants, where like it detects that like that it would actually know that it's biting into like the tracks. Yeah, so we could always put more details. I'll just save this in here. Actually, I can leave this recording. I just want to say thank you for these last 3 weeks. I had a lot of fun. Hope you guys had a lot of fun too. I apologize that it's a very steep learning curve, sadly, with all of these things. So we just go very fast, but that's why you have these videos. So when you see me online, hi again, you can review all of these things. I'm always happy to help anyways, like for other semester and whatnot. That being said, I'll say goodbye and thank you for joining. I'll stop the recording.